We are finally at the last R in the 12 R's of recovery. And actually, I've given you a lot more than 12, as you've noticed. And this one's all about retraining yourself. Now, this is the overarching attitude that you want to have with yourself as you're recovering. And that is, you want to view yourself as a coach to yourself. You're this coach that is picking up someone who broke their leg skiing, helping them get to the right place to heal. And then when they heal and they say, I want to go ski again, the coach says, okay, well, we're going to have to start our training over again. We're going to have to do muscle building. We're going to have to move your coordination back into your brain. We're going to have to remind you what it was like to ski, but also the skiing is going to be different because your leg's slightly different in the way it healed. And we're going to build our way up to more and more skill sets that you used to have, that you may remember, but you have to relearn them. And then finally, you're going to be able to go back there and ski, and maybe competitively ski, right? Okay, so that's kind of the metaphor I want you to use with yourself. No matter what situation you came out of, you have to retrain yourself to be the new you, the renewed you. And that is really not fair. I just know it's not fair, because it's not fair that this situation happened to you, that someone else took away from you your very essence, and it's just, it's not fair it happened to you. But guess what's even more unfair than that is that you're the one that has to put the work back in there to get things done again. As I mentioned before, when a police department comes and looks at a crime scene and they tear it apart to investigate all the details, it's the people who live there or the people who own the location that are responsible for cleaning the whole place up. They're not responsible for what went on, but now they're responsible for cleaning it up. You're responsible for cleaning up the mess that someone else made of your life, and that's not fair. But it's your life, and you have to retrain yourself. And an accident, a ski accident where you break a leg, not fair, but you have to retrain yourself. You have to help your body, your emotions, your brain, your mind, your soul go and be a new you. And so your attitude of this training myself, I'm going to be this coach. Sometimes you give yourself relaxation. Go take a break. You need a break. Sometimes you work on the integration bit by bit. Sometimes you kind of push yourself. Come on, you can do this. Sometimes you scramble and you're confused and you say, okay, I get this. I know what this is about. And you talk to yourself kindly. Sometimes you cry. Sometimes you scream. Sometimes you're afraid. Sometimes you go take classes. Sometimes you go see a therapist, or you come to these online classes. It's like, that's why do you do all that? Because you are your coach and you're figuring out what strategy to do in this moment and overall. That's why this online course is there for you. You can dip in and out of any class or any course that you take. I've designed it so it's progressive, but you're the coach. You have got to retrain yourself. You can take my advice and follow my sequence of things. You can do all the exercises, which I hope you do, because that's the way you really plant it inside you. You can read the book that I've written or other books, or go to different groups, or join us on Facebook, or just do a few or one of those things. And maybe later on you'll do more of those things, because you're in charge of the training you're doing now. You're the coach for yourself. And as confusing and maybe ill-equipped as you feel doing it for yourself, there are these tools that are here for you. We're here for you. But you're the one that has to say, okay, I'm going to take advantage of it, or I'm going to do a little bit of this or a little bit of that. Now, when you get overwhelmed, you feel anxious, you feel depressed, there's a part of you that's going to say, this is not worth the effort. But it is. Trust me, it is. You can heal, you can recover. And what's even more exciting, I can barely wait to start doing the classes on thriving after abuse and trauma, really feeling the transformation that takes place. Because I want you to remember that the majority of the people, 75 to 85% of the people who have had major positive impact on this planet, had it after they survived that abuse and trauma. They recovered, they survived, they escaped. And then they recovered. And then they decided, I'm going to make a difference. They moved into thriving and transforming their life and transforming others. It's amazing out there. My book, Your Soaring Phoenix, is all about shifting to ascendant spiritual practices. My book, Spiritual Tools for Successful Living. There we go. Spiritual Tools for Successful Living. About 14 different spiritual ways of looking at what sort of transformative life you can have. I want you to envision having a transformed life that's way beyond recovery, way beyond where we're at now. I want you just to kind of envision that. But meanwhile, we have to get you back skiing on the slope and just training. You have to retrain. I have another book called Own Your Peace, The KISS Method to Inner Peaceful Living. And there are over 100 different tools for helping people come into a space of inner peace. A very valuable book from my point of view. Loved writing it, loved reading it, loved living it. And it moves people into transformative, transcendent, and ascendant inner peace. So I want you to think about, what is it going to be like when you move way beyond recovery? And the truth is that you have greater potential for being an ascendant, transcendent, transformed individual than individuals that did not experience abuse and trauma. I know that that's just blasphemy. I know that that's so irritating to hear, because it makes it sound like there's this glamour, glory, and abuse and trauma, and there's nothing that's glamorous or glorious about that, and there's nothing great about it. I mean, it'd be better if you never went through it. However, because you know what it's like to coach yourself through this process, you actually will learn more tools about transforming than those people who never have to strengthen their muscles. Life is good. They don't really do much. They enjoy. They might even be great people, but they have never had to overcome. And it's in that overcoming where you develop muscles and courage and tools of recovery that move you forward. And there's also something about, I went through that, I survived that, I recovered from it. I'm badass, right? And you have a greater capacity to be that badass than most. So I don't want you to sink into total discouragement. You're going to have discouraging moments. I get it. And some of our work is going to help you through that. Of course, you're going to have to help yourself through that. And some of that's going to require this type of self-discipline of just continuing to go through it. Show up. Just show up. And so this online situation is set up for you to show up. If you need to just listen to something while your eyes are closed, we got it for you. If you're needing to just go into a gentle space, we got it for you. If you're needing to write and self-reflect, we've got that for you. If you need to read, we've got that for you. If you need to be working or doing something while you're listening, we've got that for you. We've got you covered in so many respects. It isn't everything. Nothing can be everything. But this is a tool that helps you just show up no matter where you're at. And even if you don't really want to, they're also short enough that you can't actually say, oh, I don't have time. And that's one reason these are little clips. And that's why these exercises are short. Not because they're not valuable, because sometimes we think length is more valuable, but because they're doable. And they're doable in a very busy person's life, and they're doable in someone who just feels like it's exhausting to go to the effort of trying to recover. And so that's what this last R is all about. You are retraining yourself. You are your coach. And I'm here to help you along the way. And so are many other people who have contributed to this website. So from the team at Path to Recovery After Abuse and Trauma, we look forward to talking to you about managing relationships in course number 4, managing relationships as you recover. I've got some good stuff there for you to see. Okay, bye.